Hello everybody, it's TannerFishies here, back again with a new Ninjago video here on the channel. In today's video we are going to be discussing Ninjago Core, once again, otherwise known as the Ninjago 2022 January sets. Those of course have been referred to by many LEGO designers as Ninjago Core, so I want to get into the habit of calling it Ninjago Core from now on, as opposed to Ninjago Evo, which makes sense, but it's not the official name, you know? But regardless, Ninjago Core has been getting a lot of various reception over the entire Ninjago community, with several people in support of what Ninjago Core stands for, while others are not so much against Core as much as they are skeptical and hesitant. And I don't blame them. There's a lot of rumors right now regarding Ninjago Core and what it might do to the Ninjago series as an entirety, so I figured in today's video we should sit back and discuss these rumors. I will give my thoughts on them, and my goal for this video is to make my own predictions as to what I feel the Ninjago future might look like. I think there's a very high chance that Ninjago could drastically change in the future, and whether or not that's a good thing, of course, depends on the individual. Whether or not the future of Ninjago is good is obviously up for interpretation. There have been many changes in the past to the Ninjago series, whether it be character designs or animation studios, and every single time there's a massive change like this, the Ninjago community gets restless, and several people either just straight up leave the community or threaten to, and while the primary reactions of the Ninjago community may vary depending on the situation, no matter how outlandish their claims may be, I do in a way understand what they're feeling. I understand what Ninjago means to a lot of people, and having a change, as little as that change may be, I understand why that would throw off certain people and why that would turn away certain Ninjago fans. I'm not blaming Ninjago for isolating their fan base or anything like that. I'm just saying I get it. I understand why people in the Ninjago scene did not want to give the Ninjago movie a chance, and in turn didn't really care to watch the series anymore following the news that the series would be redesigning the characters. I get it. Even though I don't agree and I don't share that same mindset, I understand what they're going through. However, the main Ninjago audience has always been the same. Ninjago is and always will be a LEGO property. As unfortunate as that statement is, it's true. And in addition to that being true, the Ninjago series is obviously designed to appeal to a younger audience. That's how I first got introduced to the Ninjago series, and unfortunately for many of us, that style does not stick to the Ninjago series. Ninjago nowadays is extremely different than what it was back in the day, but I'm still a Ninjago fan. Ninjago hasn't done anything to turn me away specifically, though we've talked about how it may have turned away other fans before. Even though, as mentioned, Ninjago is by default a kid's property. And even though Ninjago has changed significantly over the years, I still find myself to be a big fan. But that's not the case for everybody, as I mentioned. Some would argue that with Ninjago Core, the series is more so focusing on an even younger demographic, ignoring the older fans entirely and even the type of audience that was initially attracted by Ninjago back in the day. As mentioned by several LEGO designers, the actual Ninjago Core series is meant to appeal to kids around the 6+ age group, which is extremely young compared to when I first joined the fanbase, as well as several other people. But I imagine I would be interested in Ninjago if it had come out around the time that I was 6 or 7 years old, as is the case with this new Ninjago Core series and what their intended audience is. The rumor right now is that if Ninjago Core is successful, perhaps Ninjago will strive for a future focused on that younger audience, as mentioned in various designer notes and interviews. 2022 overall seems to be shifting the direction for Ninjago. In addition to several of the new 2022 sets focusing on a younger demographic, other mediums of Ninjago are going in a similar direction. As of right now, as of the recording of this video on December 17th, 2021, we don't have any particular word as to when we can expect the next season of Ninjago. All we know is that it's happening at some point in 2022. I've already said in other videos and live streams that it doesn't feel like we're going to be getting a season for the first half of the year. Instead, we are getting a series of Ninjago short films, which of course require a lesser attention span, and Ninjago sets meant for primarily small children? Yeah, seems like these products are more in line this year to sell to a younger demographic, as opposed to keeping the retention of that older audience that the series has obtained over the years. If this new core line is successful, does that mean that Ninjago will be shifting the direction from here on out? If that's the case, this may be the most dramatic change for the Ninjago series yet. As much as I'd love to say otherwise, I know that I am not the top priority when it comes to marketing Ninjago. And it's almost ironic. Several other LEGO themes seem to be taking a more mature approach when it comes to their display items and collector's items. We have several LEGO 18+ sets now, not designed for children, but designed for 18+ adults and collectors. It seems like Ninjago is kind of doing the reverse of that, taking a step back and focusing on a younger audience. Obviously, to clear the air really quick, this is not a guarantee. Ninjago is very much experimenting with the first half of the 2022 year, or at least that's how it seems on the surface. Ninjago Legacy is a huge part of the brand at this point too, and while there are no sets for the first half of the year that are Ninjago Legacy related, you can tell that its style and theme have sort of stuck around. Several of these new Ninjago core sets seem to be taking inspiration from previous Ninjago sets and designs, so I feel like the legacy aspect is still there, while being combined with this new Ninjago core idea. Maybe during the summertime we will see more of what we're used to for Ninjago, a new wave of Ninjago sets to coincide with the current season, and a new batch of Ninjago Legacy sets, or at least that's the dream right now. I'm usually very optimistic when it comes to Ninjago changes, and while I don't feel like you should completely avoid Ninjago core, I feel like we should support it for all it's worth, obviously. I can understand why Ninjago fans are kind of turned away by this new idea. I for one think it's just going to be a little experimental thing, and obviously depending on how well or how little success this new idea has, we could potentially see some big Ninjago changes in the future. Perhaps, again, shifting Ninjago to focus on a younger audience, and even scrapping older ideas such as Ninjago Legacy and even perhaps the TV show, though I don't think that's going to happen at the end of the day. What I think is happening right now is simply once again an experiment by LEGO, and if that experiment is successful, then I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what changes this makes to the Ninjago series. Bottom line, I don't think we need to worry about Ninjago core, and I for one am certainly going to be supporting it in some way. I want some of the sets that are coming up for January 2022, and I will most certainly watch the Ninjago short films when they release in early 2022. And while it may not be what I was expecting or wanting for the first half of the year for Ninjago, Ninjago is Ninjago. I'll find enjoyment in something. I feel like at the end of the day, all we can do is just kind of sit back and watch LEGO have their fun, and what exactly comes from that, we'll just have to wait and see. So thanks a lot for checking out today's video. That'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here today. Leave a comment down below talking about what you thought about this video. Do you think Ninjago core will influence the Ninjago series in some way? And do you think that'll be a negative thing or a positive thing if that eventually does happen? Do you think LEGO's experiment will end up working, or do you find Ninjago's current status to be satisfactory for the brand? Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments, and hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Once again, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and check out the links down below in the description for other forms of social media. Thank you all so much for checking out today's video once again. My name is TannerFishies, and with that I bid you farewell.